Are you pregnant? Are you looking to get pregnant? If so, you might want to stick around because in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 things about pregnancy you may not know about. Aloha everyone and welcome to today's video. 5 pregnancy symptoms you may not know about. My name is Icelyn and on this channel, Boylan's Happily Ever After, we share family videos, some mommy videos, and have product reviews from time to time. So if you're new and this interests you, please consider subscribing, become part of our YouTube family here. And if you want to know more about anything you see here on this channel, be sure and check the links down in the description below this video or leave a comment. I'd love to connect with you there. And as always, if you think these videos may help someone, please share them where you can. Now, let's get into today's video. I want to start here with a little disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional, and if you're pregnant, looking to get pregnant, always follow your physician's advice, your healthcare provider, midwife, doula, whoever you're working with in your pregnancy. What I share on this channel is just my opinions and from my experience. I have had 4 live births and miscarriages, so I do have a little bit of knowledge, and this has always just been a field, pregnancy, something that has really interested me, and I love sharing this information, talking with other mamas about all this good stuff. In another life, I probably should be a labor and delivery nurse. 2 of my births were in a hospital, and the other 2 were home births. I do have videos and a whole playlist. I'll be sure and link all that stuff down in the description below for you. Be sure and check the links out there later, along with some pregnancy stuff I'll have linked for you too. Now for the first symptom. Your body is no longer going to be your own. This was the very first thing I noticed when I was pregnant with my first child. You're just going to start to grow in ways you've never grown before. It's going to feel awkward. You're not going to look pregnant right away, and you're just going to tell that your body is working to care for and nourish a sweet little baby inside of you. At least I really felt like my body was put on the back burner and that everything I consumed and everything I was doing was working for my baby growing in my belly. Once you do get your pregnancy bump though, you're going to start feeling pregnant, and that's a really great feeling. I just really did not expect right off the bat to just start feeling like, whoa, what's happening? This is not the way I felt my whole life. You can be tired, and no matter what you do, you're just still gonna be tired. So this second symptom was a little random, and this was something I did not notice while I was pregnant. It was something I noticed after I had given birth. The arch in my foot had dropped. Yes, it actually affected the structural makeup of my body. I believe the extra weight of carrying her and her sitting more onto the one side of my hip, that foot, then the arch is flat. It rolls in. I do not have 2 normal arches. I have one, and one that's like that. So your baby is going to permanently change your body, and that has never gone away. Number 3 is sciatic pain, and this is probably more common for women to experience when they're pregnant. I would just be walking along and all of a sudden it would feel like something would bite me in the butt, or like a pure, sharp, stabbing, spasming pain that just like makes you feel like you need to sit down instantly. This was obviously towards the later end of my pregnancies. I felt this with all 4 of them, and it is excruciating and uncomfortable. Thankfully, it was more like a spasm, so it goes away, but you just never know when one of those is gonna hit, and just for like a few moments, you're just like, whoa, that really hurts. Please make it stop. Number 4, this one's a little embarrassing to talk about, but you can get hemorrhoids. And it's also kind of gross to talk about too, but I mean, it's our body. These are real things that can happen when you're pregnant. I personally did not know it was happening. Thankfully, my sister and a lot of my family are in the medical field, and she was able to point me in the direction of getting to the doctor right away. And then there's a reason they make ointment, and the doctor just prescribed some to me, and that made a tremendous relief. If you're experiencing this and can't get to the doctor right away, they do make over-the-counter ointment, and I'll even link some for you below. There's no sugarcoating pregnancy and labor and delivery. And another thing to keep in mind is those don't just go away, and those can get worse and can cause more problems. They're kind of there with you for the rest of your life. Hopefully you only get one if you get one and not a bunch of them. And if you're wondering why does that happen, it's because there's a lot of pressure happening down there. Your bowels can even change due to the extra vitamins you might be taking. Your whole body system is just thrown for a huge loop. It's doing different stuff. You're consuming more, and it's depleting your body too. I really believe it was probably mostly the weight gain and the pressure that caused it for me. And not that I gained an excessive amount with my pregnancies, it's just I'm small framed and it was all right there, center. And as my pregnancies went on, I felt more pressure. Because I think with each pregnancy you do get a little bigger, and your body just knows to expand and go back into those positions. Muscles do have memory. Alright, and lastly, number 5, heartburn. This one I think is pretty common, especially towards the end of the pregnancy for some women, especially if they're craving spicy food or eat spicy food. Your stomach gets shoved like up into your rib cage, and there's just like not the amount of it that there used to be, because that's now filled with baby. And so I remember eating bites and just feeling like they were literally still in my throat, like my stomach was up here and not down here anymore. This can make it hard to sleep, it can make it hard to eat, it can make it hard to gain weight. It can just make you incredibly uncomfortable. And I think even towards the end of my one pregnancy, I was getting heartburn and there just was not enough room in my body that then I wasn't gaining the weight that most women tend to gain towards the end of their pregnancies. So they were concerned that I was maybe losing amniotic fluid, so they sent me for an extra ultrasound to check that to make sure I wasn't leaking anything. And so that kind of added a little extra stress towards the end, but thankfully everything was okay. And if you're pregnant and experiencing heartburn, I'm sorry. I know it's not fun. You can try sleeping on a certain side. Depending on how your digestive system is, it's going to depend on what side you want to be. And there is one side that's usually better to sleep on when you're pregnant as well. I want to say it's the left. I could just tell towards the end of my pregnancies, like I had to sleep on one side or everything was messed up. And then really quick, I also wanted to share with you in this video one of my favorite books that I had while I was pregnant, What to Expect While You're Expecting. I'll be sure and link it down below for you too. Highly recommend this book. It went above and beyond any symptom I was feeling. I could go and just look it up right away, understand it more. One of the best tools that I feel like I had when I was pregnant, especially as a first-time mom and not knowing anything. And then as I went into my following 3 pregnancies, I referenced that book and used it as well. Just a really wonderful book. I can't stress enough how much of a great book. If you're pregnant or are wanting to get pregnant, check it out. There's going to be so much useful information in there for you. Yeah, and so that's it. Those are the 5 things that I wanted to share with you about being pregnant that you might not know, you might experience. Hopefully you don't have to experience any of these and you have a super smooth pregnancy. If I missed any that you want to share, please be sure and drop them down in the comments. I love sharing this information and talking with other mamas about their experiences, what symptoms they did or didn't have. Please leave me a comment if you're willing to share. And that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, please share these videos where you can. We'll see you in the next one. Aloha!